Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Wood, and this is Cinda Academy's Voice of the SME. We are delighted to have Terry O'Brien from the Red Parka Pub with us today. We are doing an interview where we want to find out what businesses, particularly small and medium-sized businesses, have been doing before the pandemic started, during the pandemic, and what they see coming out of the pandemic. And we are delighted to have Terry O'Brien, the proprietor of Red Parka Pub in Glen, New Hampshire, a beautiful place in the world. If you ever have a chance, go visit. Ski resorts and highest point on the east coast of the United States, I believe. Welcome, Terry.
Thank you.
Could you tell us a bit more about your business besides my introduction? Just tell us a little bit about what who your clients are and what you offer.
Well, we're a 48-year-old business, family owned and run. I'm the last one standing. We have been a steakhouse since the beginning, and being in the heart of ski country, we obviously have a lot of great winter business, but the summertime is actually our busiest time with the hiking, canoeing. We've got a lot of attractions up here like Storyland, Santa's Village, and it's a lot of camping too. So it's 7 days a week in the summer, and it's been a long journey for 48 years, and it's an interesting time that we never thought we'd have to do right now.
So your clients are mainly tourists. I mean, you obviously serve to a local client, but mainly you're catering to out-of-towners coming in, whether it's ski or canoeing. Would you say that's like 90 or 90% of your business?
I would say it's probably about 85% because a lot of the people that are up here also have second homes. So they spend a good deal of time up here. And yes, I suppose you would consider them tourists, but as we see them almost every weekend, we consider them regulars.
Out-of-towners, but not tourists, right? So, so that raises a question. If you're trying to reach a market outside of your local area, since you have a lot of people canoeing as well and hiking, what sort of channels were you using to reach them, to reach these customers, to make sure they're coming in?
Well, we have our social media, obviously, with Facebook, Instagram. We also use Constant Contact, so I send out e-newsletters. Our website, they can sign right up on that. Our menu's on there as well. And we have a loyalty card, so people can sign up for that. We get their email addresses, and when they use their card, every time they come in, they get a point for every dollar spent. When it's up to 500 points, we automatically load $50 onto their card that they can use.
Great. And you keep reminding them via newsletter or, keep coming in. We've got a new steak special or a new beer on tap or.
Yes.
That's great. And do you rely on things like TripAdvisor or Booking.com or any of those sort of global national players to drive you business?
We do have Google, TripAdvisor, Yelp. I'm not a huge fan of them because of the reviewing problems that we have sometimes with places like that, but I do respond to all of them. I'm not active on them other than to respond to reviews.
Yeah.
So they're necessary evil, I think.
Well, that's the thing, is the reviews seem to be the thing everyone's looking at these days, is that's driving a lot of the rankings and driving a lot of the decision making, if you will. So I'm glad to hear that you're responding to them. What do you think your most effective channel? Has it been Facebook?
I think it's a combination. It would be, before the pandemic, it would have been probably Facebook, our local radio station, and word of mouth.
Yeah. And then as people are coming in from skiing or sort of an après ski, you're pretty well known in the neighborhood. So if they want to ask, then a good time. And do you have live music? It's a stupid question. Do you have live music and things?
Yes, we do. We're one of the only places around that still has bands on the weekends. We do a blues Sunday with blues bands. on Sundays from like 5:30 to 8:30, which is a perfect time because people of my age like to go out early. We don't like the 9 o'clock to 12:30 thing. So it's been very effective.
But since the pandemic, now you've had to shut your restaurant down. But have you been able to do takeout or delivery during this time, or?
Yes, we started right when we first had to close on March 17th. We started with takeout and delivery. And I think it was just too soon at that time. Um, After that, we did steaks to go. So they were uncooked, hand cut steaks that people could order whatever size they wanted and pick them up the next day. So we were able to utilize some very good steak products that our guests love. They pick them up and cook them at home. Once we went through all of the steaks, the ribeyes and tenderloins and strips that we had, then we just kind of shut down completely. But we just started
That
takeout
was
again.
sorry to cut across you, but that was designed to not throw away your stock or not spoil your stock, right? So you,
Correct. And also to provide people with some great steaks that they were missing.
yeah, yeah, I could do with a steak.
That's our motto. You deserve a steak today.
Well, I resemble that remark, I hope. Um, but so then you sort of shut it down after that. So, you called your suppliers. I mean, this obviously has an impact on your supply chain. Your suppliers, you're saying, I don't need another delivery of so many kilos, so many pounds of steak. Um, they must be hurting
Yeah.
as well on this.
Oh, they all are, and because we've got hundreds of restaurants in this area. It's a small area, but we've got a lot of restaurants, and every one of us was closed down. There were a few that continued to do takeout, and they've done fairly well with it. But yeah, our suppliers are all hurting.
Hmm.
Um, I know that we gave a lot of product away to people that needed it and to our staff.
Yeah.
And there's some that we had to throw away because of spoilage or because we weren't allowed to give it away because it was product that would be spoiled. So yeah. And now we've got to restock.
Because you
And
are
now the
doing
supply chain is terrible with everybody because nobody has anything.
so you kind of start stop on your takeout was on either raw food or ingredients, but now you're actually cooking again, yeah? So
Yes.
how are you promoting that? Because you said it was Facebook and constant contact using your email campaigns and your loyalty cards. Um, are people are still not allowed in your sit down in your restaurant? It's got to be takeout,
Correct.
right? Yeah.
Right. It's all takeout and it's curbside pickup.
Hmm.
We want to avoid contact as much as possible. All of our staff's wearing masks and gloves, all the proper sanitation procedures. Um, it's been interesting to try to promote this. One of the things that I've done, I've got a great local radio station that has been amazing at getting the word out. Facebook has been huge. Everybody seems to be on Facebook these days. Our constant contact, I sent out the menu. Um, Instagram, all of my workers have reposted our menu,
Great.
and it's been surprisingly good for we've only started, we've done Wednesday and Thursday so far this week, and both nights we actually did more dinners than we did last year on the same nights.
Now, isn't
I know it's
that's a
crazy.
great that's a great everyone's been missing steak. They're tired of their
Yep.
husband or their wife's cooking.
But it is off season up here too, and off season is all locals that are here, and so it's a slower time normally. But yeah, this part of it is good. We're missing the liquor business for sure because that's where the highest profit is.
Hmm. And there's no
But
way
it's
you
good
can
to we can
deliver it along with
no
the steak.
no we're allowed to sell bottles of beer or bottles of wine right now.
Hmm.
However, when we're able to open our outside dining, we can serve cocktails.
Uh-huh.
So that will be good.
Yeah. Now, interestingly enough, one of the things everyone's obviously concerned about with the reopening is going to be the sanitation requirements, or picking up food, or what you said, curbside delivery, and you're taking all of these steps to make sure everyone is, following all of the CDC procedures. Um, what was your most effective way of, do you think that is something that's part of your main communication strategy? And how are you letting people know that's what you're doing, as opposed to just saying we're open, have a great steak?
You're absolutely right. And people are afraid, so we need to get the word out that we are following all of the CDC guidelines. Again, using social media, using ads in the paper. They're seeing that our signs are posted. We've got tape marking off where people can stand to wait to pick up their food. Everybody that works here has their temperature taken when they come into work.
Yeah.
They are asked all of the questions on whether or not they've been exposed, whether they've got any symptoms, and if they're sick at all, they're not allowed to come into work. And then the gloves, the hand sanitizers that are out for the guests to use, as well as staff, hand washing. We make them wash their hands as soon as they walk in the door for 20 seconds. Gloves, everybody's wearing gloves. And when we reopen, the guests are going to be required to wear masks to and from the tables.
Little hard to eat and drink, though.
Yeah, well, once they're at their tables, they can take them off, but they've got to stay 6 feet away. So,
but that's an interesting. It's an interesting question. Are you finding that your social media? So you said radio was working very well, and your email was working very well. Are you having a more dialogue with your customers? Do you think, whether it's through Instagram or whether it's through Facebook? Are people you said more people are on it, but are they engaging directly with you, or do you feel that just more people are seeing your post? I'm just trying to get a sense of the engagement. Yeah.
Yep. People are posting, they're asking questions, suggesting food items that they might like us to put on the menu, saying thank you that we're open and doing this. And I post at least once a day so that they know that we're still alive. And I've been doing that since we were closed. So I think that was big, making sure that they knew that we were still here, that we did do a gift card promotion, just making sure that they know that we're here, and if they needed anything and say they were in dire straits, they weren't getting their unemployment, or they had not enough food in their house, that we were here to help them.
That's
and
fantastic.
Private messaging.
Wow, that's really admirable. Good for you. Good for you. And that's part of being a member of the community, right? So
absolutely.
On the question of engagement, because a lot of focus has been put on Google My Business, at making sure all of the reviews we talked a little bit about reviews earlier, but also posting opening hours, making sure all of that information. Do you go through your Google My Business like you said you post on Facebook every day? Do you, and Instagram, I'm assuming. Do you also check your Google account updating and all of that
you just
information?
reminded me I haven't done that. So now I've got to, when I get off this, I've got to do that.
Well, I'm glad I could be of some service.
Thank you. Write that down, Google.
You mentioned gift cards. You've always had some sort of gift card, or you've had your loyalty card. Did you? I know some businesses, there was a campaign to buy gift cards from businesses to make sure the cash flow was coming in, whether it was a home decor store or some of these other retail channels. Was there any sort of campaign like that for you guys, or did you push your gift card out there saying, when this opens up, come use your gift card?
Well, ideally, we'd rather they wait to use their gift cards until we're open fully, because we need the cash right now. But we did do a great promotion. If you bought $100 gift card, we would give you a free $20 gift card. And that was immensely helpful in the first few weeks. People were so great about buying them. They bought them online on our website. We mailed them out. We sanitized before we mailed them, and it was great. That definitely helped. We got several $1,000s worth of cash, which we needed.
Well, that's really helpful. But was your website already e-commerce enabled?
Yes.
Right. So you really had a full-on program from emailing. It's great to hear. So the $1 million question, or however many euros you want to put against it, is what are you going to take out of this? Because eventually, this is going to change. You're already opening up you've got your takeout, but you're opening up your patio in a few weeks. We don't know if they're going to stay open or what the rules are, and it could be open, close for a while. But from a marketing perspective, because it sounds to me like you've got the community perspective pretty well lined out. If I say so myself, is that you've obviously done your outreach and cemented your place as part of the community. But what do you think from a marketing that you would take out of this experience?
I think expanding on our online marketing is something that we'll definitely be doing more of in the future. I think the takeout is going to be here to stay, and we've never been a big takeout place, but I think it's going to be here to stay. So we are putting an online takeout service next week. So that's another aspect of something that we've never done before. And I think we're going to use it, and it'll be very popular.
Interesting. So it's sort of like a full menu delivery. Now, do you use a delivery service or do you have your own
No,
delivery?
we haven't
Or
done anything with real delivery because, again, it's a liability issue. I would have to get new insurance and all that. Yeah, I love the insurance company. But it's certainly not out of the question if this continues. Yeah, I think we could do delivery.
Mhm.
But I think that takeout is going to be here for a very long time, and we're going to have to somehow make that work with our kitchen, which is very small, even though we do 600 dinners some nights.
Mhm.
But we're going to make it work. We'll be reconfiguring things. Obviously, our salad bar is out of the question now,
Yeah.
and probably will be for some time to come. But we're gonna make this work. And the marketing, the local marketing, also through our Valley Original group, which is a group of 25 independently owned restaurants here. Um, we have a broader outreach through that group because of our marketing value together.
Yeah. Tell me a little bit more about that. What sort of activities does this group do?
Well, this is again 25 independently owned restaurants and operated, owners always on premise. We banded together because the chain restaurants had such an advantage over us as far as their marketing abilities, their buying abilities. And
Mhm.
so we've managed to secure great discounts on our propane usage, heating oil, our vendors, because we buy from specific vendors, give us money back on our purchases to the group, and the group then uses that for marketing all of us as a group, as well as putting money back into the community.
Great.
All of our donations are locally done, whether it's our local high school, cancer groups, all of those things.
That's excellent. That's excellent. And yes, fighting the chains is you don't have the leverage they do in the national
No,
buys. And
no,
I'm
and,
assuming
and they've done a good job of buying up all the product these days too.
that is going to be interesting because if it is going to be a challenge going forward to be able to offer your service. So,
Yes.
um, but do you think they have any sort of they obviously have an advantage in terms of size of buy in terms of online advertising or something like that. Are you looking at the either the restaurant group or yourself buying more advertising on things like Facebook or Google to drive
Well,
traffic?
I think that right now we're all struggling to find money to just keep our doors open. But I think we get back into things. Yeah, I think we definitely will be doing more, especially as an independent group. We're blessed with our local radio station because they have helped us throughout this without taking any money. They
That's
are
great.
promoting us. And I can't say enough about WMWV. Sorry, I had to get that plug in there for them because they are just the greatest people. They really are. They're awesome. And our group does have a Facebook presence. We work through the Chamber of Commerce as well, and we're big sponsors of the Chamber of Commerce. So they're getting our word out to all of the people that come up here and travel.
That's great.
I'm afraid we're going to lose some European business this year with all of this, and that's going to be a problem.
So are you sort of geared up? You're obviously geared up for the rest of the year to be a lower volume year.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, so all of your online activities is going to be focused much more on what you can do yourself via email, via Facebook posting, and Instagram. That's interesting, and it's nice to hear what the radio station's doing as well. Are you getting any help from? Do you do all? I should ask this. Do you do all of your digital marketing yourself, or do you have an agency?
I do it all myself, and it's definitely a struggle sometimes. But yes, I do it all myself, and I'm lucky. I've got some good people that work here that share everything. My niece is great at it. I may put her in charge of it.
You wouldn't be the first one to do that. But that's interesting because when you were talking about doing more e-commerce on the website, I'm assuming you find a local business that would build that for you, or a local agency. Do they have ongoing support, or is it just a buy and then if you have a problem you call them back?
No, they've I can actually go into my website and change things up. I can also call her right on the phone and she will get it done. I send her photographs that I want put on there, and she's local. She is very attentive when you call her, and it's nice to have that voice that you know on the other end of the line.
Just as a sort of general question, for sort of my understanding, do you feel that you could benefit from having somebody look at your business and suggest, here are some things you can do? And the reason I say that is that I hear lots of one-off stories. This person did something really well. I have a friend who owns or he manages sort of a high-end apartments that he was renting out to business travelers or startup entrepreneurs and contracting. Well, when they got shut down or the travel basically stopped, he started marketing it as a place to get away from your family to focus on your work, because everyone was homeschooling their kids. They couldn't concentrate. So he said, change it. Instead of the business traveler coming in, let's find the local market. So there's lots of one-off stories about that. And as people gather these stories, so as agencies and gather this information, would it be interesting to you to hear what people in Texas and California are doing from their experience at serving them? That's kind of a long way to get to a question. Is you're very local, you're very connected locally, but sometimes you probably can't tell what somebody in Colorado is doing, or somebody had a great idea in Wyoming or in Berlin even. Is that a value, sort of the strategy or the ideas? Would you be interested in hearing about those ideas?
Oh, absolutely, because the best ideas are stolen from other people. And I mean, I keep up with all the trade magazines, and I've gotten a lot of ideas from those. Staying involved in National Restaurant Association, the New Hampshire Lodging and Restaurant Association, absolutely any ideas that will help us move forward and bring our guests the things that they need, things that might bring them in more often. Absolutely.
That's great. That's really great. Terry, I really appreciate your time. Is there anything you'd like to add besides here's where we are, come visit us?
Oh, everybody stay healthy, and we look forward to having all of our European visitors back here again.
Terry, I really appreciate your time. And everyone, thank you for joining. And I hope that everyone is health and safety. We are going to be running more of these Voice of the SME in the coming days and the coming weeks. And we want to thank Terry for her time, and best of luck with your takeout business, and best of luck in the future. Thanks very
Thank
much.
you.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye.